Hello again. Now, it's becoming one of the biggest trends on social media, but unless you're one of those who actually experiences it, you're unlikely to have even heard of it. ASMR, or Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, is getting literally millions of hits on YouTube from all around the world. Well, here on STV Glasgow this evening, we're all about the positive vibes. Amanda McDonnell, who runs an ASMR YouTube channel, and mindfulness consultant Connie McLaughlin from Your Inner Buzz join me in the studio. Welcome both of you to STV Glasgow. Coming to you first, Amanda, I've never heard of it before, so I'm sure a lot of our viewers at home won't have either. Can you explain what is ASMR?
Basically, it is an extremely relaxing feeling that starts in the top of the head and runs down the back into the limbs, and it's a tingling sensation that is completely and utterly gotten from the most mundane tasks almost. It can be whispering, soft speaking, crinkling a bag. It all depends on your own personal triggers and what triggers it for you. And it is so relaxing. I liken it to when you have someone playing with your hair, or if you get a head massage, or if someone's tickling your back. That really calming and relaxing sensation that you get from that is basically what we get when we experience it, only no one obviously is giving us those physical treatments.
And you've started a YouTube channel all about ASMR, and obviously a lot of people are watching the videos. Why do you think they watch them?
Because they get triggered from what I'm doing in the videos. I do so many different triggers, and that everyone has their individual ones that work for them. So be it whispering, soft speaking, all kinds. They vary so much.
And people obviously find it quite relaxing and soothing as well.
They do. In fact, it can actually induce sleep as well. It brings about drowsiness for me anyhow, and a lot of other people I know. Almost like whenever you take a sleep aid.
Well, let's take a little look at a clip we have of one of your videos.
Have you been having a hard time lately? You seem a bit stressed. I have a palette of colours. And I brush, obviously. So, how does that feel?
So Amanda, can you explain what you're doing there in the video clip?
Basically, I'm trying to reenact the most natural experience I can. I'm using the brush versus the camera because a lot of people will receive tingles just from seeing that action happen, very slow and deliberate. I'm speaking softly as close to the microphone as I can because that will obviously tingle or induce the tingles as well.
And Connie, you're an expert in mindfulness and relaxation. What do you make of this?
So I'm all about the positive vibes, as you say, and I'm glad you said that at the top, because I think it's really important that we do all we can to make sure that we're being as positive as possible for obvious reasons. I've never heard of this technique before today either, but and maybe people watching might think it's quite unusual in terms of it's not necessarily particularly very mainstream. But as I mentioned to you earlier, I think anything that people can do these days to try and make themselves feel better, to improve their mental health, then I'm absolutely all for it. And I said to you that I'm definitely up for giving it a try. But it's unusual, and I think to try and make sure that people are open-minded, perhaps whenever they're looking at different methods like this, and just try what seems right for them.
And Amanda, a lot of people might find it unusual. What do you say to the doubters?
Well, I mean, everything in life that you don't understand, you obviously are going to doubt. If you don't experience it yourself, it's going to come across as strange to you. So I would just say, understand that we do receive it. It definitely works for us. It's all over the world now. There are hundreds of thousands of viewers of these videos. So all I can say is that it obviously works for us.
I think the important thing as well is, 20, 25 years ago, people would have laughed if you said you started to meditate. We're seeing now in 2015 that, so many millions of people across the world are using that as part of their daily life. And, it is definitely about changing the norms about how people look at their mental health. I mean, we work with so many different types of people at Your Inner Buzz now. We're even starting to work with football clubs at Your Inner Buzz and widening that sort of the audience, if you like, who want to look at mental health issues. And I think that, moving forward for different techniques like that, if we can almost open ourselves and be sort of supportive of people like Amanda who really want to try and change, it's really worked for you, and if other people can do the same, then that's fabulous.
And Connie, you mentioned meditation there. We are coming into September, which is, the summer's over. It's said to be one of the bleakest months after January. What can people do to kind of perk themselves up a bit?
It's strange because September is one of my favourite months. Not just because I'm trying to be positive, but it's a change in season, isn't it? And it's about almost we've not been too lucky in terms of weather this summer. That's obvious, but it's about the choice and how we think about things. And we at Unibuzz use meditation to try and shift your moods. We know that there's going to be days where you'll have light and shades and how you're feeling, but it's about using different techniques that help you not necessarily dwell on the days that you're not feeling as great. So it's about being able to, have an argument with your boss, go over it in your mind for the next few minutes, maybe in their drive home in the car, but don't let it ruin your evening, and then the next day, and then the next day. We're finding a lot of the clients that we work with using meditation is helping them being able to just guide themselves away from feeling a little bit down. So if you're going to do anything this September, I would say get yourself started on there's loads of different meditation apps that you can use, lots of different channels on YouTube, of course yours is fabulous too, and try it, go out there and try it and make a difference, and don't wait to January until it's the time to get your New Year's resolutions underway. Do it now. Listen to your favourite type of music, surround yourself by people that you like, find yourself a coach, find yourself someone that can help you through it, and also just realise that it's perfectly normal, to feel up and down every now and again.
And Amanda, what kind of feedback do you get from people who watch your videos?
Lots and lots. People who are just using it for the sleep purposes, people who are trying to get through maybe injury or surgery, things like that. I have some videos that would be for people who are pregnant and things like that, who have a lot of anxiety about the birth, things like that. It's really it's for everyone in every walk of life. Someone will get something from it. And I get a lot of feedback on the fact that, they've been helped in some way positively. They've just been helped some way, and they're just always so grateful and for just for me doing these simple mundane tasks on camera.
And what would you say to people to encourage them to watch the videos?
Just it's what we were talking about earlier about mindfulness, and if you're concentrating on this technique being done in front of you, and you just take that moment to watch what's being done, your anxiety levels will fall, your heart rate will fall. At the end of the video, you'll feel a little bit, less anxious about what you were worrying about at the start than what you're worrying about in general. And, using it as a technique like for mindfulness, if it's done repetitively, if you watch it every night before bed, something like that, then, you'll build up that once you start to watch the video, your anxiety will fall, and then in time you'll be able to use those techniques for yourself.
People say that even just doing a minute a day, so even if you don't even necessarily want to call it meditation or specific videos like that, giving yourself even 1 minute and build it up just for you. So giving yourself that time to relax, giving yourself time to even just sit and actually have a cup of tea just for yourself and give yourself a break. That's such a massive step forward, because how many people throughout the day...
We will need to leave it there. I'm really sorry we've run out of time, but very interesting chat. Thank you very much, Connie and Amanda, for joining us. And finally this evening, Edinburgh's festival season finished with a bang last night with a spectacular